DJI just dropped a huge upgrade with their brand new wireless microphone system. And the question on everyone's mind is, should you buy the DJI Mic 2? To help you with that question, we're going to be taking a look at some of the new features from the DJI Mic 2 and some of the upgrades coming from the DJI Mic 1. If you're not familiar, the DJI Mic 2 is a wireless lav system, featuring a wireless charging case that holds 2 transmitters and a receiver. The beauty of these wireless mics is that it makes getting clean audio so easy. All you have to do is plug in your receiver, set up your transmitter, and hit record. So whether you're looking for pro audio for your online content or for your client work like weddings, these are worth checking out. All right, the first thing we need to talk about is the audio quality, because none of the other features matter if the audio quality isn't good. So right now you're listening to the DJI Mic 2 plugged into the FX30. Now let's compare that audio to the onboard microphone of the FX30 and against the microphone of my iPhone 14 Pro. And now we're back to the DJI Mic 2 plugged into the FX30, and as you can tell, there's a world of difference when you use a dedicated microphone that you can get close to a subject. It just sounds so much more full, it sounds so much better, and sounds so much more professional. On top of that, if you're in a noisy environment, there's also the intelligent noise cancellation mode, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on right now, which is perfect if you find yourself, in a loud environment like busy streets, if you're in the city, there's cars going by, there's traffic, or maybe you're just in a busy cafe with music and people talking. This feature can help isolate your voice, which is a really useful feature if you're live streaming or vlogging. Now here's the real upgrade that makes the DJI Mic 2 probably one of the best wireless mics on the market right now. It can record 32-bit float internally. Let me tell you why that's so important. You know how you set your microphone levels in your camera to make sure that, your voice is loud when you're talking, but then sometimes either you yell or talk too loudly, or maybe there's really loud music playing and now all of a sudden your audio is clipped and distorted and sounds bad? Well, that would be recoverable if you were recording with 32-bit float. See, 32-bit float is kind of like the audio equivalence of taking raw photos. There's just so much more data there and so much more latitude to recover. So, warning to headphone users, if I start talking way too loud and way too close to the microphone, normally that audio would clip and would be unrecoverable. Now, just so you know, you can only get 32-bit float if you're recording internally into the transmitters, meaning you'll have to pull off the audio files from the transmitter and sync them to the videos in post. But I think that's a small price to pay for the peace of mind of basically always having good audio. Another reason why the DJI Mic 2 might be a good buy is because it's kind of a one-stop solution for your audio needs. Need audio for your camera or computer? Grab a TRS cable, plug it in, and you're good to go. Need audio for your Apple or Android mobile device? Attach one of these connectors to the receiver, plug the receiver into your device, and you're good to go. Want to use Bluetooth instead to connect directly to your mobile device, your Osmo Pocket 3 or your Osmo Action 4? Well, you can, and you're good to go. Also, something else that DJI improved for the DJI Mic 2s over the previous generation is battery life. Compared to the previous generation, the battery life of the charging case has been upgraded to 18 hours from 15 hours, and the transmitters have been upgraded to 6 hours instead of 5.5 hours, which gives you plenty of juice to go through a full shoot day, and if you need to, just throw the transmitters and receivers back into the charging case while you're not shooting to top them back off. Personally, I think this is one of the biggest upgrades for anybody that shoots live events like weddings, because you're gonna want all that battery life for such long shooting days. Last cool feature I want to highlight is just how user-friendly the DJI Mic 2 is. Everything in the menu system is really intuitive, and it's not bloated with a bunch of super technical settings, and it'll take you less than 5 minutes to scroll through all the various settings. One of my favorite features that you can find in the menu is the recommended camera settings. Basically, you put in the make and model of your camera, and the DJI Mic 2 receiver switches to a preset audio setting for that camera, adjusting the gain level to what's appropriate. For example, right now I'm shooting on the FX30 and the receiver's preset switched it to +9 dB to make sure I'm at the correct audio level. It's just these little things that make it so much easier for beginners to pick up something like the Mic 2 and just be able to go and get good results. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of a range test. I've got a fair bit of runway down this little running path here, so I'm gonna start walking. So DJI claims that the DJI Mic 2 has a max transmission distance of 250 meters or about 820 feet. Now, I am not gonna walk 250 meters away because that's an absurd distance for this test, but I think the idea is that the longer the max transmission range, the stronger signal penetration the unit has, meaning that if you're shooting in a smaller place, smaller distances, but there's a bunch of walls, electronics in the way, you want a strong signal strength to make sure that you can still hear and you're still getting signal from the transmitters. I'm gonna keep walking and we're gonna see how long the signal strength holds up. All right, so this is about as far as I'm gonna go from the camera. I'm probably a tiny speck. I don't even know if you can see me, but I'm a solid distance away, and I think the signal strength's still holding up well, I hope. Now, let's take a closer look at the DJI Mic 2 itself. The new design features a stylish black transparent transmitter that gives me an old school iMac vibe, which I absolutely love. DJI is also selling the transmitters in a new pearl white color, which looks perfect for wedding videographers that often have to tuck a microphone under the bride's dress. The receiver also received an update with the inclusion of the scroll wheel for accessing the menu. Plus, they changed out the clip for a cold shoe mount, which I think is better since 99% of the time I mount it to my camera. And finally, the charging case has been updated as well. It's a little larger than the DJI Mic 1 case, but I'm a fan of the design. It has a lever lock design that keeps everything closed up when transporting the case. The updated texture looks really nice, and I love that the case can store everything, including the phone connectors. I just wish it could also fit the windscreens in there as well. All right, let's talk pricing and options. The DJI Mic 2 comes in a few varieties. You can get just a single transmitter in either color for $99, a transmitter and receiver combo for $219, or a dual transmitter and receiver combo for $349. If you're interested in the DJI Mic 2, check out the links in the description down below. Overall, thanks to the wide compatibility of this system, I think it's quite a good value purchase. Now, I've only had this system for a short while, and I definitely need to put it through more paces, compare it to my other systems like the Hollyland Lark Max, but my first impressions have been really positive. If you have any questions on the DJI Mic 2 system, let me know in the comment section down below, or hop into my Discord channel, and I'd love to answer your questions. All right, do the YouTube thing, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.